Most people remember the last day of school as one of the happiest days of the year. For me, it's the day I stopped feeling safe. The day I learned that sometimes the worst things don't happen in abandoned buildings. Sometimes they happen in places full of people. My name is Ethan, and this happened during my senior year in Ohio. And before anyone asks, no, I never found out who was responsible. The final bell rang at 2:45 p.m. The entire building exploded with excitement. Lockers slammed shut. Teachers gave their final goodbyes. Students ran through the halls like they had just been released from prison. Summer had officially started. I was one of the few students staying late. My mom worked until evening, so she couldn't pick me up until around 5 normally. I'd wait in the library, but our school closed everything early that day. The library, the cafeteria, even the front office by 3 o'clock. Most of the building was empty. A few teachers remained, finishing paperwork. The custodians had started cleaning classrooms, and maybe 20 students were still scattered around campus. Nothing unusual, at least not yet. Around 3:20 p.m., I was sitting outside the gym scrolling through my phone. That's when I got a text, unknown. Number, no caller ID. Just a single message. You forgot something. I assumed it was a prank. I replied, "Who is this?" No response. A minute later, another text arrived. Check. Locker 317. That was weird. Locker 317. Wasn't mine. I didn't even know whose locker it was. I ignored it. Then my phone buzzed again. A picture. The image showed me sitting outside the gym. Taken only seconds. Earlier, my stomach dropped. I looked around immediately. The hallway was empty. No students, no teachers, no one. Yet somehow somebody had just photographed me. I stood up and walked toward the main entrance. Maybe it was one of my friends messing with me. Maybe they were hiding nearby, but the halls felt strangely quiet, almost too quiet, the kind of silent schools only have after everyone leaves. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. My footsteps echoed, and every classroom I passed was empty. Then another text arrived, Locker 317. This time there was a second sentence before it's too late. I should have left. I know that now, but curiosity got the better of me. So I headed toward the junior hallway. Locker 317 sat near the science wing. When I arrived, I immediately noticed something strange. The locker door was slightly open, just enough to reveal darkness inside. No lock, no name, nothing. I pulled the door open. Inside sat a plain white envelope. No markings, no address, just my name written in black. Marker, Ethan. My heart started racing. I looked around, still nobody. Then I opened it. Inside was a single photograph, and when I saw it, I nearly dropped it. The picture showed my bedroom, taken through my bedroom window. At night, while I was sleeping, I remember staring at it for several seconds, unable to process what I was seeing. The angle was impossible. Whoever took it had been standing outside my house, watching me sleep, and judging by the time stamp in the corner, the photo had been taken 3 nights earlier. I suddenly felt sick. Another text arrived. Now, check the auditorium. At that point, fear finally outweighed curiosity. I decided I was done. I started walking toward the front office. I planned to find a teacher and show them everything, the texts, the photo, all of it. But halfway there, I heard a door slam somewhere behind me. Bang. The sound echoed through the empty building. I froze, then another slam, closer this time. Bang. Classroom door. I turned around. Nothing, just an empty hallway, rows of lockers, flickering, lights, and silence. Then my phone buzzed again. You're going the wrong way. I started running, not sprinting, but moving fast, trying to reach the main office, trying not to panic. As I rounded the corner, my heart stopped. The office lights were off. The doors were locked. Everyone had already left. I pulled out my phone. No signal. Not one bar, which made no sense. The school always had service, always, yet suddenly, nothing. That's when I heard footsteps, slow, measured, coming from somewhere behind me. Step, step, step. I spun around. The hallway was empty, but the footsteps continued. Somewhere nearby, like somebody was intentionally staying out of sight. I started moving toward the auditorium, not because I wanted to, because it was the only place nearby where people might still be working. The drama club had been preparing summer storage earlier that day. Maybe someone was still there. Maybe I wasn't alone. The auditorium doors stood partially open, a thin strip of darkness visible between them. I pushed them wider. The massive room was empty. Rows of seats stretched into darkness. The stage lights were off. No movement, no sound, nothing. Then my phone buzzed again. Look at the stage. I slowly raised my eyes. At first I didn't see anything. Then I noticed a chair sitting in the center of the stage, a single wooden chair, and resting on it, another envelope. I didn't want to go up there. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, but I did it anyway. I climbed the steps, crossed the stage, picked up the envelope, opened it, and immediately wished I hadn't. Inside were more photographs, dozens of them. Pictures of me at school, at home, walking, my dog, buying groceries with my mom, even sitting in church. Some photos looked months old. Others had clearly been taken within the last week. Whoever had been following me had been doing it for a long time. Then I noticed writing on the back of one picture, a simple message, "Turn around." My blood froze. Slowly, I looked behind me. The auditorium seats were dark, almost completely black, but near the back row, I saw someone standing there, perfectly still, watching me. I couldn't make out a face, only a silhouette, tall, motionless, human. For several seconds, neither of us moved. Then the figure stepped backward into darkness and disappeared. I ran. I flew off the stage, bursted through the auditorium doors, and sprinted down the hallway. I didn't care anymore. I wasn't investigating. I wasn't curious. I just wanted out. The nearest exit was through the science wing. I reached the doors, pushed. Nothing. Locked. I tried another. Locked. Another. Locked. Every exit had somehow been secured. Panic hit me hard. My breathing became uncontrollable. I kept checking my phone. Still, no signal, no calls, no messages, nothing, except one final text. Almost summer. Then the number disappeared completely. The conversation erased itself, as if it had never existed. That's when I heard a scream, a woman's scream, somewhere upstairs. Without thinking, I ran toward it. I reached the second floor. The hallway was empty. but one classroom door stood open. Room 214, the photography classroom. Inside, everything looked normal until I noticed the walls. Hundreds of photographs covering every surface, pinned side by side, floor to ceiling, thousands of images, all of me, everywhere, every year, every season, every activity. I couldn't breathe. Who does something like that? How long had this been happening? How many times had someone watched me without me knowing? Then I heard movement behind me, inside the room. Not the hallway, the room. I turned, a storage closet door slowly creaked open, and someone stepped out. A man, maybe 40 years old, average height, gray, hoodie, baseball cap, no expression, just staring at me. For a second, neither of us moved. Then he smiled. Not a normal smile, a smile that looked practiced, like he'd been waiting for this moment. And then he spoke, the first words I'd heard all day. "You're not supposed to be here." I ran. I don't remember much after that, just fragments, hallways, stairs, doors, fear, pure fear. Eventually I found a custodian entering through a side entrance. I practically crashed into him. He immediately called the police. Officers searched the entire school, every room, every hallway, every closet. Nothing. The photography classroom was empty, no photographs, no envelopes, no man, nothing. Like it had never happened. The police investigated for months. They checked security footage, interviewed teachers, questioned students, reviewed phone records. Nothing, no suspect, no explanation, no answers. But that's not the worst part. The worst part happened 3 weeks later. During summer break, I came home one evening and found an envelope taped to my bedroom window. No stamp, no address, just my name. Inside was a photograph, a recent one taken after school ended, taken after the investigation, taken after the police search. Picture of me standing in my backyard. On the back was a single sentence, written in black marker. "See you next school year." I never went back. My family moved before senior graduation. I changed schools, changed numbers, changed everything. And for years, I convinced myself it was over. Until last month, when a package arrived at my apartment. No return address, no sender, just a small envelope. Inside was a photograph, a brand new photograph taken only days earlier, showing me standing outside my current apartment building. And on the back, the same handwriting, the same black marker, the same message. "Welcome back.